Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. We're going to be taking a look at the gaming sector here, as obviously we know that it is getting beat up, even though we are seeing some projects get a little bit of a pump today. Nothing crazy here, but we are going to be looking at one of the top mid caps. At one point, a high cap in the gaming sector, one that we've covered multiple times now on the channel, one that I would feel comfortable DCAing into at these current levels, which obviously cannot be the same with every altcoin, especially when we look at the gaming markets here, as again, in the current market conditions, we are seeing stuff down 50, 60, 70, 80% on the 1 month alone. Now, if you guys do get value out of the channel here today, if you guys get anything from this video, if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the video, your support does mean a lot. Now, we take a look at the gaming sector. Again, we are not just seeing individual, low caps, even lower mid caps get hammered. We are still seeing, major sector leaders like Immutable X, Ronin, Superverse, Beam here still down heavily from, even where they were at in December of 2024. So a lot of stuff is down heavily. The one I want to highlight here today is obviously Beam here. Now, we've been in Beam since it launched Q4 of 2023. When this launched around these current levels as far as market cap goes here, when we look at Beam, again, when we look at where Beam was, in December here recently, I mean, Beam was closing in again on a $2 billion market cap, something that it had already been over in the past. Now, when we look at where that was as far as price action goes, again, Beam was closing in on about 4 cents, and now we're at about half a cent here, 0.006. So we'll take a look at the price action here in a little bit and give you guys my opinion on where Beam sits today, what I'd be DCAing, where do I think Beam could potentially go. Now, we're not going to cover every individual update for Beam, as we've made several videos on key major updates within the Beam ecosystem already on the channel. If you guys have been watching for some time, you guys already know that we cover Beam exclusively here, because for me personally, if you're looking at a solid mid cap, and again, not that long ago, a high cap, one of the sector leaders in, crypto gaming as a whole, overarching narrative, I do think Beam potentially could have pretty good risk to reward ratio, especially if you are looking for something still in that mid cap range without delving too far down the rabbit hole of the volatility of low caps in the gaming space. Now, we take a look at Beam. A few updates has happened here recently in March alone over the last few weeks. So we have seen Beam, go from, they launched, Merit Circle had launched Beam essentially as a rebrand migration as a Avalanche subnet. Now, Beam has already made the transition to, kind of leaving just being known as an Avalanche subnet to now they have converted to a fully sovereign L1 successfully. Now, they are still focusing heavily on gaming. They also have an AI side of their ecosystem as well, but they have gone to a full native L1. So this is huge for Beam, actually. Now, another thing that's actually went live here recently, about a couple days ago now, is Beam nodes have gone live. Now, we covered this node sale initially when this did go live about a couple months ago now at this point, when you were able to get in at those super cheap, relatively cheap prices the first week of the node sale for the price, I think doubled or tripled here very quickly. So if you were actually, able to get in and mint a node, token here, you can actually, again, claim your nodes, your Beam nodes, start delegating your Beam and node tokens today to participate in the network, and you can actually start earning with the Beam nodes. Again, this is huge. So anyone who actually did get in on the Beam, node sale, you make sure you actually take a look at this. Maybe it's something that you forgot that you had. Let me know in the comments below if you actually did, if you were able to mint a Beam node token. So again, if you want to run your own validator, you can go through this, this thread here. The requirements is literally just having that one node token, 20,000 Beam, and meeting the, hardware specs, if that is something you want to do. As well. But if you don't want to do it, there's, plenty of nodes as a service that make it easy. Again, they link a bunch of them here, right on this thread. But essentially, you can stake your Beam or your node token or node token to secure it to the Beam network, connect your wallet, and then, again, delegate it, no minimum amount required. And then you just earn rewards by, again, staking them on the Beam network. So primary rewards, transaction fees, accrue to Beam stakers and are paid in Beam. Now, we also know that secondary rewards, protocol fees, and validator incentive grants are split. Now, they also did mention, if you remember when they did the node sale, that, potentially partnered ecosystems as far as other tokens would be payouts potentially to node holders and stakers. So again, in my opinion, that is something to keep an eye out for, but quite interesting. Again, pretty big if you're actually able to get one of those node sales. If that's something you went ahead and did at that time, you can actually now use those Beam nodes and start earning with them. Now, we also keep continuously seeing the Beam burn counter just go up. At this point, I mean, we're literally at, what is that, 40 billion Beam now at this point. Now, if we actually take this number and, put it into how much beam that is actually worth, well, we can see that that is worth, I mean, it's worth a lot. Yeah, it's worth, let's see here, 261 million. If I have that correctly, yeah. So I want to say that is about 200 and no. It's trying to do it right. Yeah, anyways, you guys don't see it on screen here, but it is a lot. Quite literally 261. I think it is 261 million around there, but quite a lot of beams have been burnt. So quite insane. So when people do talk about beam, again, realize that they have this burn mechanism not only from their node tokens or any beam that was actually used to mint those node cells immediately got burned. So anyone who, I've gotten that comments in the past about beam and node cells, how it can ruin an ecosystem, but realize that they literally didn't really profit off of it. They were literally just burning all that beam to kind of help and strengthen and deflation, make their beam token deflationary. So, they're doing this to strengthen the ecosystem. So that is worth mentioning as well. As we see Avalanche Gaming here, that's a lot of tokens, and it sure is. Now, when we look at Beam here, those are just a couple of big updates here I just want to mention as kind of an update video for you guys, as again, we cover Beam quite hard here. Now, when we look at December, where it came from, about those 4-cent regions, you have to ask yourself, do you think Beam will get to those levels again? Because that was literally near the all-time highs of 4.5 cents, and we're down 85% from that. Again, realize that this is a project that was at $2 billion here, literally, what is it, 90 days ago now at this point, before we saw the overall market kind of take a huge dip, with all the recent events here, at the start of 2025, we've covered all of them extensively already. But in my opinion, personally, I am still, personally holding my Beam, and I am quite bullish on Beam still. Obviously, not financial advice, especially during this market conditions. Beam could keep going down. We've said this before, and I stand by it. I don't think we're going to go full altcoin season or full bull mode anytime soon, but I could definitely be wrong there. But I still have the strong conviction that we see gaming run, aggressively at some point in 2025. That is my belief. So if we look at more infrastructure plays, say that offer a little bit more, not less risk, but definitely not as high risk as a single-sided low cap $5 million gaming token that again just represents one individual niche game. But we want to start betting on these solid infra plays, especially if you are lacking exposure, or if you were looking at something like a Beam, if you were bullish at 1 to 2 billion, then you should be loving Beam at a $300 million market cap here. In my opinion, I still think that Beam is going to eclipse that $2 billion market cap range. And, if you guys remember, I said that I thought Beam could do multiples from there, and I still think that. So, I'm not going to give an exact prediction here, but if you do the math here from these levels, it not, a little under than like an 8 to 10x from here would get us back to those market cap ranges of, the all-time high there. So, in my opinion, I think Beam is a steal at these current market levels here at about the $300 million of market cap. But realize that we are still kind of in a shaky market conditions here. Recently, literally at the start of this last week, it was at 250 million. Now we are seeing it kind of get back over that 300 million here, but it is still completely on the table here for it to get back to those levels, even maybe put in new all-time lows, as the all-time low again was a little over a year ago, but it was not that far from where it's at right now. So in my opinion, let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think of Beam? I just want to give you guys a quick update. What has Beam been going on? The biggest update really was one, transitioning to the the L1. Also, keeping up with the burn with the Beam token, and also if you were able to get in on the node sale that we covered in the past when this did go live for their ecosystem. Then as a reminder of even though the market is a little bit boring and a little bit volatile right now, maybe you've stepped away. But if you did capitalize on the node sales please, be aware that the nodes are live. So you actually want to go ahead and use those node tokens. If again, you did get it on that, start using it right now so you can capitalize on it and potentially ROI as quick as you can. So either way, guys, that is, we're looking at mid caps here. I do get the questions here on some different videos. Am I DCAing anything? Would I be comfortable recommending anything? Obviously not financial advice, but if you are lacking exposure in the gaming sector, if you're looking for a solid mid cap, and again, not that long ago, a high cap in the gaming space, one that I do still consider to be a strong contender and a infrastructure leader in the gaming specific narrative. Again, we're not talking about stuff like Avalanche here, but when we look at it, I still go between Beam and Ronin here. Similar market cap ranges a little bit. Ronin's about almost roughly a 2x from here. Also pretty undervalued in my opinion right now, but Beam and Ronin, are still, my two favorite mid caps and just overall leaders in the space and, infra plays in the gaming space. So we look at Beam here. We'll do an update on Ronin here in a little bit. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see that. But we look at Beam. I think at these levels, this is literally levels that we saw Beam launch at, about a year and a half ago now at this point. In my opinion, could it go a little bit lower? It definitely could. Could it go a lot higher? I strongly think so. So that is my opinion here. Just want to give a quick update on Beam. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of Beam? And again, if you don't want to be betting on the Beam token, let me know in the comments below why that would be. But when we look at it, again, they also do have the Beam AI part of their ecosystem, but they also just have quality games, within their ecosystem as well. So we take a look here. They have, Castle of Blackwater. They're coming to Steam, I believe, later in March. Forgotten Playland launching, one that we've covered in the past as well. I think they have like a Trials Extreme game, kind of like a Trials game if you ever played those in the past as well. So plenty of games, to actually play in the Beam ecosystem. Obviously, they have their own individual tokens tied to those you can take a look at as more like degenerate moonshot picks. But either way, if you want to play a little bit more of the ecosystem of Beam, then there's a lot there for you to kind of delve into. We've delved into a lot of different projects of the Beam, ecosystem as well that you can find on the channel. So either way, let me know some of your guys' favorite picks within the Beam space, and let me know if you were able to capitalize on the Beam node sale. And otherwise, if you guys got value out of the video, first of all, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. And if you guys did get value out of it, if you guys could like the video, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.